Hello viewers, you are welcome to GAM Television. My name is Veronica van der Kamp, a Mantelzorg ambassador. This is time for the Mantelzorg. Today we are going to talk about Mantelzorg and KKZ. What is KKZ? I have my guest here today in the studio, and she is going to tell us all about it and what this also meant for the Mantelzorg. Stay tuned. Come with me on this. How are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
Yeah, doing fine. Yeah, can you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure, I can.
Yeah.
My name is Maria Hoefnagel. Ik werk bij GGZ in Geest als preventiewerker. I do it in Dutch. I work at GGZ in Geest as a prevention worker. And that means I support people with light mental health issues and also family members and friends of people with psychiatric or problems or addiction problems.
Okay. When we say GGZ, what is it? What does it mean?
GGZ means in Dutch geestelijke gezondheidszorg. So it's mental health care.
Mental health care.
Yeah, and in Amsterdam you have two big organizations. GGZ in Geest, that's where I'm working at the department Presence. And you also have Arkin. And we have locations in the south and in the in west of Amsterdam. But at preventie, people of all parts of Amsterdam are welcome for our support.
The Mantelzorg. What is in for us when it comes to do with your work?
When you have mental health problems, it has a big impact on your life, but it also has a big impact on the people around you. Your parents, brothers, sisters, or when you have children, or your partner, or friends, it also has a big impact on them. Yeah. You see that somebody cannot function normally at this time when they had these problems. And you want to help somebody, and it can be hard to see that someone is in has a severe depression, or when somebody gets psychotic, then it's maybe difficult to make contact. So that can be hard, especially when somebody has problems for years. Then you have to live with the grief in your life, the grief that someone you love cannot function like you want them, you want for them.
Because talking about grief, as you are saying, it's grief because maybe you have so much expectation before your child, and it doesn't have the chance to be what you wish your child would be. Sometimes very depressing. But how do you differentiate between somebody, because people don't really, when you talk about KKZ, they just end up as, it's only people who are mentally crazy. That's the word, So how do you differentiate? I mean, how do you say this is just a depression, this is too much for me, I can't handle, so I'm coming to you, or this is really, I'm off and I can't deal with it at all? Because sometimes we don't know where the KKZ really stand, and
when you have to go to the KKZ.
Yeah.
Well, when you come at the department prevention, it's not a treatment, it's not therapy.
Okay.
It's a support. So you also don't need to get to your family doctor for, he doesn't have to write a letter, and we don't have to have contact with your health insurance, it's free. So there
Okay.
is no, it's not a therapist. You don't have to have a diagnosis when you go
Okay.
to preventie. When you have a family member, maybe when your partner had has a depression,
Yeah.
it has a very big impact on yourself.
Yeah.
For example, a woman was in the came for support with us. Her partner has a depression for many years already. They used to make music, both of them,
Yeah.
but he couldn't do that anymore, so she stopped playing music.
Oh.
He couldn't bear to have friends over the house, so
Yeah.
she didn't invite people anymore. That's what you saw, that her life becomes small. The things she did became smaller. She lost her own life of the way she lived before. That was vanished.
Yeah.
And what she did, I made a sign. When you love someone, and this is a symbol for your house of life. It's a symbol. When somebody has mental health problems, but you're from your heart, you're going to support somebody and go your life. You build your own life of house around the house of the other one.
Yeah.
But then you're losing the way your house are looking. And you're saying to the other one, your house of life is not good enough. I have to support you. And when you better is to let your house, the house of life, be the way you want it, in connection with the one who has mental health problems, because he or she had to find a way to cope with it.
Yeah.
You cannot do that for them. You can support them, but you cannot take over.
Okay.
A mother with a daughter with personality disorder, she said, I never let go of my daughter, but I learned to hold her differently. She left the responsibility at her daughter, with her daughter. She let at her own responsibility. With a connection. And she helped with her financial administration because her daughter couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So she said, I will do that for you. But her daughter can very easily get in a conflict with people. So she had a fight in a store. And normally her mother would come and to rescue her.
Yeah.
And now the only thing she did was saying, are you okay? Do you have to go to a doctor? Are you okay? Are you okay? But she left it at her. It was her responsibility. She didn't take over.
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but a difficult thing to do.
It's difficult because
when somebody is vulnerable and not standing strongly in life.
Yeah.
Then this is what your heart says to do. And you to take a little bit over.
Yeah.
But this is difficult, but it's better for the both of you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
These symbols we always used to explain to look with someone. What is going on in your life? Are you like the example I gave?
Yeah.
The woman who didn't make music anymore, hadn't contact with friends anymore. Then you lose a lot.
Yeah.
So we were looking together. How can you get something back of what you lost? Maybe contact with friends.
Yeah.
And maybe when he cannot be alone, you can ask somebody, a brother or whoever, to come over, and then you can go meet some friends or make some music in an evening. So to get something of your own house of life back.
Because,
You
looking
understand?
at this diagram, I'm relating myself, I mean, a mom, and your child is going through something, and sometimes, especially even, we are not even talking about kids with disability, but even this youth, you see your child is going through so much, and you just wish you can just take that away.
That's what your heart says.
That's what your heart says.
I want to take this burden from you.
From you. And you don't know what to do. And sometimes you say something and it's like you open your mouth and you are saying the wrong things. And I remember at a point I said, so what do I do? I said, don't do nothing. Just be there for me.
Mm-hmm. And it's the
you
same.
Know? Yeah.
It's the same.
So I'm just, but it's so difficult
to do.
To just say you have to find a way to deal with it. That
with
you feel
and still being there. That's
you
important.
Are there, but then you think you have to do more.
But you cannot save somebody else. You only can be
there.
You can be there, and that is also special and important.
That.
I talked with a father, and his son has been had been in care for 24/7. You know, and he was in a mental health clinic.
Yeah.
Clinic. And he came out and he was at his home place again, and he had to go to appointments. And his father went to him to bring him with his car. I asked him, did your son told you that he needed? And he was thinking, no, he never did. So then you take over. It's different for a son from 40 years old. When he can say to his father, for me, it's still difficult to get there on my own. Can you go with me? It's difficult then when your father, without asking, are standing in front of your door to bring you there. So he's a grown-up. He has his own. He wants to be in charge of his own life, even when he is feeling a little bit vulnerable and is not very strong. You want to be in control of your own life.
This is big.
For your self-esteem.
This is big. This is big. I'm learning a lot from this with how we have to deal with our kids. Or sometimes want to help too much and they even get irritating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and with somebody with disabilities who maybe can't even say it's okay, let me see what I can do for myself. But you are always there to do everything, pick up everything. So even that for the person is also difficult. I have a son of 24 years. He's in a roster. We feed him, we do everything for him. With what you are saying, I'm just relating it to myself because it's so practical. Now, by God's grace, he's trying to drink by himself, So the moment you bring the baker to his mouth, he's already
trying to do it himself.
Drink himself. But sometimes then it comes too much and then his whole self is not. So I also always want to also support it. But now I realize when I'm bringing the cup, he don't want. But when I put it in his hand he's drinking well. So it's just, just imagine him being physically and mentally handicapped. But now he know I can drink. So let's...
Yeah. You want to use your own possibilities and be your own person. And when he spoils a little, so what's the
big deal? So I guess
big deal.
Put it there. Go ahead, just make yourself not. And it's so interesting, these little things.
And in the meantime, you're grieving because he's not able to do that very easily.
Yeah.
So it helps me in life to make a difference between something you grieve about and something you can solve.
Yeah.
And sometimes you cannot solve a thing, but you can grieve about it. I talked with parents from a man from, I think he was 35, with a severely psychiatric problem. So he couldn't work, he couldn't have a relationship. And they were grieving about it. And when you grieve, you have two sides. One side of the losses you experience, and one side is of moving on.
Okay.
And you go from one side to the other and back and forth. You cannot face a big loss in your life 24 hours like this. So it has to be a little bit at the side. You focus on something else, and then it's big again. I asked them, when are the sadness, the grieving about your son, when it's a little bit at the side? They said, when we are on holiday, when we are out of the country, when we are away, then it's a little bit at the side. Then I talked with him, how can you have holiday moments in your everyday life? That you can focus on something else.
You don't have to wait until...
And the grief is a little bit at the side.
Yeah.
So then you can look together, so what can help to make a little bit holiday moments in everyday life.
Wow.
What do you enjoy to a little bit for a moment put the grief a little bit aside?
So these are some of the tips you give when people come to you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is good to know, because we hear about KKZ, only crazy people go there.
Yeah.
But now you are telling us how to deal with these things. You also can come, and then do you have individual
we have the possibility
or just a group thing?
Yeah, we have both. We have the possibility of individual sessions.
Okay.
Mostly it's possible to have 3 sessions, but every year. So I sometimes have people who have had a session 2 years ago, and now they come because something happened and they want to talk about it again. So that's also possible. Okay. And we have groups for family members and friends. A part of it is meeting people in a similar situation.
Yeah.
But also we give tips. We talk about how you can cope with it. We give some education about different disorders.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Because dealing with as a Mantelzorg, we always have a lot to deal with. And especially with these group sessions, you can meet other people that you can share experiences. It's sort of a support group to help each other.
It's a mix of education and support group. It's a mix, yeah.
Okay.
And we also have special groups for grown-ups who grew up with a parent or both parents with psychiatrical, difficult word for me, psychiatrical problems or addiction problems.
Okay.
Because it has an impact.
Also on the children, yeah.
Also when you grow up, and then it can help to recognize with someone else, so, they're doing this the same way as I do, or this is difficult for them like it is for me. So the recognition is very important.
At what point can you come to the KKZ?
What do you mean? At what point?
At what point of life do you think now I have to come? Is it when you know you can't deal with things anymore? Because who qualifies to be there? Can just anybody
when you want to
walk
have
in?
yeah,
You can just walk in and
you
say,
can make an appointment.
okay,
We don't. You cannot literally walk in. You have to make an appointment.
yeah,
But you can have the feeling from, oh, it is the
yeah,
problems are getting too high, or
mm-hmm.
when you're or before when you
Before it
think so
gets
from,
too
oh,
much,
this is
yeah,
difficult to deal with. I
yeah,
like to talk with someone
yeah,
about it. So earlier is better.
yeah. So that was my question. At what point do we come? Do you have to wait until,
No,
oh,
no,
I
no,
can't,
no,
or when you
no.
see it's already too much for you, it's better to prevent it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the prevention
Yes.
section that you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. So when you think, oh, this is difficult to deal with,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Oh, okay.
Also, when you have a neighbor, there's some, we call it family familiespreekuur.
Okay.
But also, sometime one day, a woman came, and she had a neighbor with psychiatric problems, and she was a little bit scared to go in the garden, so she didn't understand what was going on with her neighbor, so she came to talk about it.
Oh,
So you
okay.
don't have to be a family member. You can also be a friend or a concerned neighbor or a family member.
Oh, okay. So maybe you have a family member, a sister, a brother, and now you are seeing some signs that maybe you visit, things are not really going well. You don't know how to approach it. This person can come to you that this is what
Talk
I'm
about.
seeing, and how do I handle this? How do I approach? Don't want to offend the person, so how do I go around it? And you also advise on such situations.
Yeah. We also have in
Okay.
the south of Amsterdam, we give trainingen to volunteers in Huizen van de Wijk.
Okay.
So from how they to talk about mental health problems, but
Yeah.
also how can you have your communication tips for communication. Yeah.
Yeah, because that is also very important. Okay. Wow. Viewers, now we know that KKZ, anybody can go there. You don't have to say, okay, I remember somebody had to come to you. He said even sitting at the reception, and then he saw a friend coming in, and he just left and ran away because the person would think he's crazy sitting there. But you can be there for somebody else. You can be there when you think something is too much for you and you can't handle. And you don't have to wait until it's too much when you already think, no, I can't handle this. I just want to talk about it. They are also there. Where can we reach you?
The organization I work, you can see it in on the screen already. It's www.ggzingeest.nl.
Yeah.
And my email is m.hoefnagel@presence.nl. So you can send me an email with your telephone number, and then I can call you.
Do you have a long waiting list?
No, mostly when people want to have an appointment, then mostly within 2 weeks it's possible.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
That's not very long.
Not very long. So the email, it comes direct to you, and you can always make the appointment with the person.
Yeah, with me, or when I'm very busy, I can ask a colleague. So we work with a team.
Okay. This relationship, how private is it? Because when I come to you to talk about things, do you make this information available
to someone else?
Yeah.
No. We only make a list with people who we are talking to, because we get subsidie. The gemeente Amsterdam is paying us. So an accountant is looking at our list. So you say you have talked to 150 people.
Okay.
All we see in the list, and they say that's okay. but the gemeente doesn't see the names, only the accountant.
Okay, so it means you don't have to get this unfallen van de verzekering to come there.
No, not at prevention. Well, when you go to therapy at GGZ and
therapy? Okay.
That's different. And you have to go to your family doctor and ask for a letter. And then you have to pay from your eigen risico.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
From the mental health.
Yeah.
But when you are coming to prevention,
yeah,
there are no costs.
Okay. And how long is the prevention? Do you have a period?
Yeah.
Like have to be there for a month or 2 weeks or?
No, you can. You have 3 appointments. Possibility of 3 appointments in a year.
Okay.
But sometimes when there's a little bit more necessary, we also do that. And you can say, "Oh, I want to come every 3 months after each other, once a month," or you can say, "I come today, and when I want to come again, when there's something is happening, I will call you."
Okay.
Or I want to come 3 weeks in a row. It's also possible.
Okay.
I sometimes have people, they have been 2 years ago, and then they are calling me, "Can I come again for an appointment?"
Okay.
So it's possible every year. So
great.
This, especially when someone you love has mental problems for a long time.
Yeah.
Then it can be good to come back again and to know that the support is there.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For having this time with us to clarify about what the KKZ does. Viewers, this has been very interesting. Mantelzorg, we know that sometimes it's really hard. It's so difficult. This is time for us. When you think you need to talk to somebody, KKZ is there. You can always call. The contact is on the screen. Just call, make appointment, and go and talk. They have this support group. You can share your stories. You can have support from each other. If you also want to have just individual one, they also have it. So please don't stay home and just be thinking and get depressed. KKZ is not just there when it's really off, but they are also there that you can just come and talk. Well, what's your last word for my viewers?
The having mental health problems has a big impact in your life when it happens to you, but it also has a big impact when you love someone who has mental health problems. So there are possibilities for support. So use it because it can help you.
Use it. There are possibilities for support. Why do you have to stay home? Please, just call if you are watching me right now and you just need somebody to talk to. Don't wait until it's too late. Thank you very much for watching. Veronica van der Kamp, your host and the Mantelzorg ambassador. And I've been talking to
Maria Hoefnagel.
Thank you and see you next time. Bye.
You've been gone.